This is Prosper Sustainably's ETEP training video on organizing and filtering goals, objectives, and other information in an ETEP Strategic Work Plan version 1. An ETEP Strategic Work Plan is a Tribal Environmental Plan, or TEP. An ETEP Strategic Work Plan, or TEP, is a major component of an EPA-Tribal Environmental Plan, or ETEP. However, keep in mind that a full ETEP will include other components which can be further explained by your GAP Grant Project Officer. During this training, I will cover organizing, sorting, and filtering goals and other aspects of an ETEP Strategic Work Plan that has been designed by Prosper Sustainably. So here we are in the main body of the ETEP Strategic Work Plan, and as you may have learned in other videos and working on this plan, there are multiple areas and there's a lot of information. So this is just an example, and with a kind of bare bones example, this plan itself already is over 100 lines. And managing this and getting to the most essential information quickly and easily is one of the reasons why this strategic work plan was developed in a spreadsheet format. So I'm going to go over various ways you can filter this information and why you may do so. So the very first one I'm going to do is filtering by priority program area. So there are, for each ETEP strategic work plan is going to have a series of priority program areas. In this case, there are 7 priority program areas in this sample work plan that this sample tribe is, or this fictional tribe is going to pursue. And each particular priority program area may be relevant to a particular scope of work, maybe a particular grant, a particular employee, but yeah, it can be very helpful to look at just each priority program area just one at a time. So a very simple way to do that is to filter out the other program areas that don't apply. So starting with the description of the priority program areas, in each case when you're doing the filtering, you're going to find the column that says area, and you'll see this square right here with the down arrow, and you're going to left click on the down arrow, and what will pop up is a series of options. It actually has a list of each program area that's listed in here, each different program area. And this is why it's very important to make sure that you spell these all the same exact way, because if you spell climate wrong, or you say climate change for some of the areas and climate for the other, you're going to have 2 separate categories. So you want these to be consistent. So in this case, we're going to say that we just want to focus on the climate change area. So this fictional tribe is dedicating a lot of resources to the climate change, or just in this particular case wants to just look at and possibly show the climate change objectives or aspects of this plan to somebody. So you can select all. You can, if you click it like that, it'll select everything. If you click it again, it'll select nothing, and then you can click exactly what you want. You could click multiple ones if you want as well. So you click on climate, hit OK, and now you're just seeing the description for the climate change priority program area. And this is the second table, the long-term program area goals. You want to filter out all the ones that are not the climate change program area. So same thing, you click that down arrow for the area, and you filter out all the ones except for the climate change related goals. In the objective sheet, the area itself is not in column A, it is actually over in column E. So you'd go over here, you unselect everything, and then you just select climate, and now you just have the climate related objectives that are showing. And then down here, the very last sheet, your plans to manage authorized environmental programs, you do the same thing, you just select that. So now you can just focus on all of your activities under your climate change priority program area. And so you could print this, which I will show in a separate training video. You can filter out additional information, which I'm going to show you now. So staying right here and just kind of using this as the basis. So let's say we want to focus on the climate change priority program area, but we only want to see, we want to make sure we see them in order. So as of right now, there is actually there's sorting applied to it where it shows from the smallest to the largest number. So the smallest to largest would mean the most recent year, the current year. A later year is going to be a larger number. So you can click this. You can go largest to smallest. In this case, there are possible objectives that come up um, that are actually given a greater value by Excel. But chronologically that helps because we would like those to be the end, but usually it helps to see them from now to going on to the future. So smallest to largest 2016 through 2019, and then the possible activities at the end. So you can sort those, and you also can filter them. So let's say we only want to see what's coming up on this year. You can filter out everything else, and then all the other objectives are gone. So if you want to filter out, so you can do the same thing with whose role or responsibility it is. So in this case, it's just there's the tribe or the EPA. It's pretty straightforward. We've already applied the filter to the area. You also can apply the filter to a particular category. These categories aren't prescriptive. You could come up with your own particular categories, but let's say we just want to focus on the planning activities in 2016 under the climate change area. And then, in this case, there's actually only one planning activity, but you may look at these categories and see, okay, well, maybe studying is actually part of that as well. So in this case, you'll see conducting a climate change vulnerability and risk assessment and preparing a report, which would be a precursor to developing a plan. So putting those back out. Another thing you may want to do is filtering out repetitive activities. So let's go back and show all the years again. So if there's an activity that's going to be repeated from year to year, and in this case, so you can actually filter these things in alphabetical order. So let's go to the column B and let's just filter them in alphabetical order just so we can see the doubles. So in this case, this annually review and update the climate change, ETEP climate change priority program area goals and objectives. Is an activity that's occurring every single year. And if you're showing this to the decision maker, you want them to be able to see what you have going on without them feeling like they have to reread similar activities that are year in and year out. Then what I've done in this case is I've actually indicated where an activity is repeating. So the first instance of this annual review is not listed as repeat. But every subsequent instance is listed as repeat. So in this case, you can filter out, you unselect all of them and then just filter out yes, or I did it wrong. You filter out yes and then you just leave the blanks. Then you will only see the ones that do not have a repeat. But of course, this is dependent upon, you have to manage this information and populate it correctly. If it's not populated correctly, then it will not necessarily show the information the way you want it. So you have to be careful and check that as well. Another thing you can filter and organize by is employee. So if you want to see whose employees are, excuse me. If you just want to see the objectives by the primary employee responsibility, then let's go and unapply all the filters. So actually, if you want to unapply all the filters, you click within the table itself, you go up to data, and then this thing will be highlighted. Just click that and it'll remove all the filters, but you'll need to click it again so that you'll actually be able to apply filters again, but it'll at least take away the filters. So in this case, we're going to scroll over to the primary staff responsibilities and see which ones are just the water quality specialists. So we just want to focus on what the water quality specialist is. So let's say it's a meeting with your water quality specialist and you want to focus on what they have going on in 2016, making sure, checking in on all their various objectives. So you can check water quality specialists, just filter their activities. And then if it showed any other years, you could just select specific years. In this case, I've only entered them for 2016, so I didn't have to select that. And then you can see what they're working on in this particular year and have a discussion around those. And there are various other ways you can apply these filters as well. So I'm just showing, just providing an example of some ways it can be used. So again, I'm going to undo the filter and then reprogram them in. So you also can create layers of filters as well, or I'm sorry, layers of sorting. So let's say, you want to see uh, them by year first. So let's say we're going to create uh, a multi-layered sort. So on the Data tab, you click on Sort, and this is in Microsoft Excel 2013. So you have one level automatically. So we said that we want that to be year. So you go to year, and you do smallest to largest. So that's applied, and actually you don't want to hit OK yet. So then you add another level. So after that, then let's see, you want to see within a given year, you want to see the areas themselves in alphabetical order. So you'll see for all 2016, you'll see the areas, the priority program areas in alphabetical order. And then beyond that, let's say you want to see the areas sorted by category. No, yes, by category. Let's just say we'll put those in alphabetical order as well, just so all the categories of objectives are sorted too. So you can apply a multi-layered filter where it applies each one's one at a time. So you have the years filtered first, and then the next the years sorted first, and then you have the area sorted next, and then you have the category sorted in alphabetical order. So within the area in 2016, these categories are in alphabetical order. So that is the end of this training video.